I probably should take this time while we're riding back home to do a vlog for you guys. And the topic of this vlog is something that I posted on Twitter one day that I had mentioned that actually got quite a few likes. If you guys don't already, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, at ThrottleLock TV. A lot of my Twitter is just shared from my Instagram, so if you primarily follow my Instagram, you'll get most of everything, because I don't really tweet that much. I just use Twitter as an alternative in case you don't have Instagram. And if you want to see what I post on Instagram, you can, and you don't have it, you can always follow me on Twitter, because I pretty much share everything to it. But this is something that I posted specifically, and it was something that made me nervous when I watched motovloggers, and it was like newer motovloggers that you could tell were newer to riding. In the process of learning, you see that they crash or something, and suddenly they want to blame something else besides their own reasoning for the crash. As a result of not taking responsibility for the mistakes that they made that may have caused the crash, they want to blame other things. And as a result, they don't actually learn from the mistakes that they made. But what makes me the most nervous about it is they'll have insurance total out the bike and they get their check for a new bike, and suddenly now they're so used to the 600's power they think, oh, I could go for the 1K or the 1300 or the 1400 or whatever. But they want to go with the huge super bikes or the leader bikes, the drag bikes, all that stuff, because they think, oh, I'm so used to the 600's power that I can handle a 1000 now. And what scares me about that is they've made the mistakes on the 600. They haven't actually learned how to utilize all the possibilities of that 600 to actually learn how to ride. And then they put themselves on the 1000, which is much less forgiving to making mistakes. And that just makes me nervous. Does it make you guys nervous? I don't want to make this a huge long video, but it makes me question their thought process. And I know that may sound hypocritical with me being on a 1000cc sport bike, but I went with the SV650 for 4 years before I moved up, and then I moved up to a CBR 600RR, and then to the CBR 954RR, and then to the ZX10. With that being said, I did my progressions. I started out with the twin, the V-twin, then I went to the inline 4 600, and then I went up to this 900 and the 1000 bikes after that. But by the time I had gotten on a 900 plus cc motor inline 4, I had been riding for a good 7 years probably.
Oh, good for you!
And that's okay. If you've put the time in and you want to move up to a leader bike, I'm all for you being able to choose what you want to do with your life. I just get nervous when you crash on the 600 or crash on a 650 as a result of your inexperience or making a mistake, which we've all done. I've crashed making my own mistakes, and I'm not gonna deny that. But what ends up happening is you don't want to admit to the reasoning that you crashed. Oh, it wasn't my target fixation. It wasn't me failing to want to just put it into the corner. It wasn't me paying enough attention. It was, oh, there was gravel in the road, or the car stopped in front of me, or an animal ran across the road or something. It was always something else that they want to blame the accident on, when in the reality is, more than likely, the crash could have been prevented or could have been avoided had you had a little bit more experience and knowing how to handle a crisis situation. And then just bumping up to a 1K because you had a 600 for 6 months and you feel like, oh, I know how to start and stop with the clutch and everything. I can move up to 1000cc. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you can't. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You have the right to make your own decisions. It's your life. It's your money. Do it with however you want. But it does make me nervous. I don't want to see anybody in the community get hurt and severely injured because they take the whole community and what makes a successful vlogger, and they think, oh, I need to be on a super powerful bike to be successful as a vlogger in the motovlogging community. When the reality is you don't. 600s are plenty fast. The two bikes in front of me, the R6 and the ZX6R, I mean, do they lack a little bit of power? Yeah, but if you get those bikes up in the RPMs, Those bikes are just as fast as a liter bike, up to about 120 mile an hour. They're gonna pace a liter bike at that. And then once you get to about 120 or more, a liter bike's gonna start to walk away, of course. But a 600 is much better in the twisties too. It's just lighter, it's more agile. You gotta learn to be a little smoother because it doesn't have quite the mid-range grunt out of the corner, but you can learn to keep up in the R's, you'll be fine. They're super great bikes for the track. I just don't want to see people bumping up to liter bikes before they're ready. And that's kind of where the gist of this video is. But let me know what you guys think of that whole situation in the comments, please. I love to see what you guys think, how it differs, or if it's similar to mine. And if you're still here in the video, I want to thank you for your support. Stay safe out there. Keep that rubber side down. Enjoy the moment. And until the next video, we'll catch you guys later.